Sanjay Vacha means Sanjay said, Tam tatha kripaya avishtam, seeing that Arjuna was now overwhelmed with compassion, Ashtu Purna Kuleksharam, his eyes were filled with tears, Vishidantam idam vakyam, and he was lamenting, idam vakyam, this vakya, this statements, Vacha Madhusudana. Madhusudana Krishna spoke to Arjuna. I just got a little bit bewildered. You understand? What are the three qualities of Arjuna which caused the Lord to speak? He was overwhelmed by compassion for his relatives. His eyes were filled with tears and he was lamenting. Seeing his friend in such a situation, the Lord began to speak these words. And then this is what the Lord speak is in the next sloka. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samapastitam Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akirti Karamarjuna. So now let me first see the translation before I make any mistake. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. Again Sanskrit. Sri Bhagavan Vacha means Supreme Lord spoke. Kutastva Kashmalamidam. Kashmalam means impurities. Idam means this kind of impurities. Now, what kind of impurities? What is the shloka? Filled with material compassion, crying like a baby, and lamentation. All this idam. This idam refers to all these three qualities. I cannot fight. This is not good. I don't feel good. All those things. This is not befitting a person who's an Arya, because a person who's an Arya, he will first, his concern is what is his duty. Not what he feels like, not by his material considerations, but what is his duty. So, Kutastva Kashmalam Idam means from where? It has not come from me. Krishna is saying it is not coming from me. I am not telling you to lament like this. You are a great person, so it is not coming from your lineage also. Now, nobody in your lineage has behaved like this. You see, Bhishma Pitama fought with his own spiritual teacher. What is that? Parshuram. So from where has this come? From where has this come? And also Vishame Samupastitam. Vishame is, what does the proper translate? Vishame, in this hour of crisis. Now from both sides conchs have been blown. And now you are saying as Samupastit. Upastit means like all of you are upastit. Supastit means you are present. And Samupastit means very nicely present. When there is a very, very huge crisis coming in front of us, now we are lamenting and crying. What kind of impurity is this and why it is coming, from where it is coming? Krishna is expressing his surprise and chastising Arjuna. He is not saying, yeah, very nice, Arjuna, you are such a compassionate fellow. I definitely, because you are my friend, you must express this compassion like this. No, he actually is chastising. An Arya, an Arya who knows the values of life, it is not befitting a person like you who is an Arya. You know, remember, if you have heard Mahabharata, or heard means you have watched Mahabharata, most of the times the queens will say to the king, Hey Aryaputra. Like this they will say, Aryaputra. So saying Aryaputra has a significance. You know the value of life. So you cannot behave like a Shudra who is lamenting. Anarya Jushtam. Jushtam means, what does Srila Prabhupada says? Practice. So this is Anarya Jushtam. Just means practice. Anarya Jushtam means this is not practiced by Aryas. This is not practiced by a person who knows the value of life. And a Swargyam, it will not lead you to Swarga. He was thinking that by giving up the war, he will go to, by engaging in war, he will go to hell. Is it not all these arguments are giving? And even if I win the battle, I may get kingdom, and all those things he was giving the argument. He said, no. All this, not doing your duty will not lead you to Swarga. Not only that, Akirti Karam Arjuna. This will lead to your infamy, Arjuna. Arjuna, you are, by saying this word Arjuna, is indicated that you are known as a great warrior. So what are the arguments given by the Lord here? Okay, let us give a small quiz. What are the three things which Lord is referring to as Kashmal or impurities? Overwhelmed with material compassion. Second, full of tears. Third, lamentation. And what are the arguments which the Lord is telling in this shloka itself? Why he should not behave like this? Anarjashtam means it doesn't behave for an Arya to behave like this. Not only Arya to behave like this, it is not practiced by the Aryas like this. They don't practice this kind of thing. They only see what is their duty. Just like Bhishmadev fought with Parshuram because it was duty of a Kshatriya that if he is challenged, he is duty bound to fight. Okay? Asvargyam means it will not lead you to higher planets. And Akirti, it will not give you fame. So Arjuna, you should not behave like this. And especially in this hour of crisis. This discussion could have been later on, before. Now not you don't do like this. Yeah. Okay. क्लैब्यमास्मगमः पार्था नैतत्त्वयि उपपद्यते शूद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Clabium. Clabium here Prabhupada is translating as impotence, enough. A person who has no capacity to do something valiant, that is called clabium. Clabium masma. Ma means not. Gamaha partha. Do not go. Gama, you understand? Gamishyanti jana, to go. So do not go to this zone of klabhyata. Klabhyata means impotence. You cannot do anything. For a Kshatriya, it has to be spoken like this. So first line is understood. Klabhyam mas magamaha partha. O Partha, you are son of Pritha. You are glorious. Many times in this world also, अरे डॉक्टर का बेटा होके ऐसा करता है. You say that you are a son of a doctor and you are behaving like this, like a rickshawala. So that also is spoken. That technique is also used by the Lord. You are son of Pritha. You are glorious. By saying son of Pritha, what is indicated? By saying son of Pritha, it is indicated that you are also son of Indra. Because Mother Pritha, Mother Kunti had chanted those special mantras by which Indra came and begot Arjuna within her womb. Do you know that past? You know that pastime, is it not? So by saying son of Pritha means you are also son of Indra. You are not a normal person. You should not behave like this. So first line is clear. Klabhyam masmagama means do not lead yourself to this area of importance. Na etat tvai upapadyate. Na etat. What is upapadyate means? Na, I'm just trying to teach you how to pick up Sanskrit from word meanings. Na etat tvai upapadyate. Tvai means in you. In you, this is not befitting. What is not befitting? Klabhyata, importance. For others, if they run away, it's okay. But in you, it doesn't befit. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? A person who is exalted, for him to do anything wrong is not befitting. Befitting, you understand? You're looking at me as if I'm speaking something strange. Befitting means आपको शोभा नहीं देता. अब कैसे बताऊं इसको? Befitting, you don't know, Amarnath Prabhu? What is the translation of befitting in Telugu? You don't understand befitting. It doesn't suit you. Now you understand? No. Just suppose. If I see you, I don't want to see you like this, but if I see you eating samosa outside, and what will you say? You are a brahmachari of ISKCON. You should. Does not befitting you that you should be eating samosas from outside. Now you understand? And suppose if you see me eating samosas and Prabhuji, breakfast mein samosa, then eating samosa there. If you see me speaking some wrong words, then you say, Prabhuji, this is, I mean, you may not say it, at least you will think that, like, Prabhuji, it doesn't befit Prabhuji to speak like this. Is it not? Yes. Why? Because I'm practicing Krishna consciousness. I'm a teacher of Bhagavad Gita. I cannot use slang words. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? If you see a laborer speaking slang, do you think anything? No. It is befitting him to speak such because he's a laborer. He will speak like that. So for a person who is not a Kshatriya like Arjuna, for him to run away from battlefield is not a problem. It suits him. But for a person who of the quality of standard of Arjuna, who has fought so many wars, you must remember he alone defeated Trigartas. I'm not remembering the name exactly, but they were demons, 60,000 demons, whom even Indra could not defeat, and he alone defeated them. I would recommend that there's a devotee whose name is forgetting the name, but he wrote this Mahabharat condensed. So if you want to drive away your sleep, you should read that. It's really interesting. 100 rupees is available in our BBT. Some devotee, yes, I'm forgetting whatever the name, but very ISKCON devotee very nicely has condensed Mahabharat. So you'll know all the stories. Really tasty, very nice. Mahabharat, Mahabharat condensed. So you know all the stories. So he alone had defeated all those things. So a Kshatriya of his stature, it doesn't befit him to need to go to this importance. I'll give an example. Another example you can understand. If a person who's a devotee, he goes to a liquor shop, is it befitting him? Now you understand? Similarly, a Kshatriya, it is not befitting him to go to this klabeta shop, importance shop, and buy that product. No, he should be valiant. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapah. Shudram means is very petty. All these things. Oh my father, oh my grandfather will die. This is very petty. Petty, you understand? You don't understand English also? Then should I speak Telugu? And the problem is I don't need to understand Telugu. And nobody will understand Telugu. You don't understand Shudram. Use Nimna, bahut chota, very petty. They're petty things. Just like one devotee was telling me, my mother is pulling me by strings to my home. Then what I'll say? Shudram hridaya daurbalam takto tishtaparantapa. This is Shudram. What is this? We are 10 brothers and my father is saying, how can I give you to Krishna? This is all useless. Shudram, hridaya daurbalam. Hridaya daurbalam, you understand? This is durbalta. This is very interesting word. What is the meaning of hridaya daurbalam? You know what is your duty. We know what is my duty, but because of my material attachments, I am hesitating to do my duties. This is called Hridaya Durbalta. And you will see in your life, we were very much durbal, we are very weak, but as we practice Krishna consciousness, we become very strong in doing our duties in Krishna consciousness. This is very nice. In the beginning, you will stagger, but as you keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, you become more and more fixed. No, I must do my duties. My most important duty is to chant my 16 rounds no matter what. I'm giving one example, but many people are not able to do that because they have weaknesses of heart. You must have had some strength of heart, Shivam Prabhu. That's why you left your home for whatever reason, for whatever time to come to Vrindavan and serve Krishna, is it not? Not everybody can come here. Rubal could not come. It's not that he's making a big business there on crores of rupees. Just could not come. You have to have some spiritual strength to come here and sit in Vrindavan. I'm talking about Prabhuji's. Mataji is not to be tried at home. Good. Then everybody say, what kind of preaching is there? But even the boys can do. It's not an easy task, isn't it? It's not that everybody who's sitting in home, all the boys are earning a money and this corona time. They could come here and sit and chant Hare Krishna and at least associate with devotees for some time. Does it make sense? Is it not Ankit Prabhu also? Maybe your parents might have objected also for your coming. No? Yeah, but you have to do little bit of snipping. That is because we have some strength of heart. So now you see, Arjuna is getting in difficulty. He knows that as a Kshatriya he must fight, but because of his attachments, he's not able to do. So you understand Hridaya Daurbalyam. But Krishna does not approve of it. He says, give up. Tyakto uttishtaha. Now you are able to pick up the Sanskrit. Give up this, tyaktva, you give up, and uttishta, you rise. Because right now Arjuna is sitting down. Yes, we have finished that in the chapter number 1. He's sitting down. So rise up, khade dao, like this. Just like an army general, Krishna is ordering. Parantapaha. Why? You are Parantapa. You are chastiser of the enemy. You are not a normal person. You have been an undefeated champion. You must remember that. You know that Virata Yuddha? Arjuna in the form of Virhanala, actually in the form of an Enoch, he has defeated the whole Kaurav army. I feel very nice when I glorify Arjuna. I really, maybe in time eternity, I want to meet him. He's such a wonderful warrior. Really nice. And Bhima also. Bhima and Yudhishthira Maharaj. The whole Pandavas, the whole very nice actually. So alone he defeated the whole army of Kauravas. So his Lord is reminding him. Still, Lord has not spoken about Atma. He's just trying to inspire him from kind of bodily concept of life that you are a Kshatriya and you should behave like this. Okay. So you see, it is important to be heavy sometimes, and the teacher is supposed to be heavy. What strong words the Lord is using to call Arjuna an important person is quite heavy, is it not? For a person who is so powerful, you call him Klebhyata. You are important. This is inak, hinjalapan. If I use the Hindi word, it's very, very strong words. So, because Lord does not want donation from Arjuna, that's why he can speak strong. he's not thinking, oh, what will I get from this war? Maybe if he does not fight like that. That's why I say all the devotees who are economically stable or economically independent, they are the best preachers because you can speak the truth to the people. Prabhupada said this, preacher should, you can engage anybody for money, but not the preachers. I must tell you this is a poison. As soon as you think of money when you are preaching, you just cannot preach. You just cannot preach. And that person will also not be preached. He will become a superior to you. I have preached to quite some wealthy people also, and they preach, they quite, I preach quite a little bit heavy only. And I don't speak my words, I speak the words of the Acharyas only. But they accept it. So the reason is, by Krishna's arrangement, we don't need money from people for filling our belly. Krishna provides automatically. So those people who can understand philosophy, they can. Now, heavy doesn't mean rude, but we must tell the truth. Is it not? We can't bluff people around here. I'm going slow today because yesterday it was like too fast, probably. So we'll go slow and we'll do the overview in few days like that. And hopefully, if I'm not too harsh, I will leave you at 9 a.m. It depends on my mood. So now Arjuna said, just the same way as people in this world say, if you tell them to join a temple and ashram, how I can do the same way Arjuna is saying. Chant with me. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmam aham sankhe drodam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarhavari sudana. Arjuna said now. He's still lamenting. And you see, Arjuna still has not stood up. You can understand. There is no mention that Arjuna has stood up. He is still maybe sitting only. And we can visualize how Krishna is on the lower seat and standing, and Arjuna is sitting on a higher seat and talking. Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhe. Sankhe means in the war, in the battlefield. Katham Bhishmam Aham Dronamcha. How can I fight with Drona and Bhishma in this battlefield? Now you understand the import of the meaning Katham. Katham does not mean he has to be taught how to fight using a bow and arrow. That is not the point. That is not the question he's asking. Katham here means they are very respectable. How could I do this to them? And say, Ishubhi Prati Yotsyami. Yotsyami means fight. I can fight. And Prati Yotsami, fight back. Ishubhi means by arrows. Pujarha Arisudana. Pujarha means they are supposed to be respected. Even if they become angry, they are not to be offended even by words. This is one comment which is given by the Acharyas. Then we are supposed to offer them flowers. How can I offer them? Arrows. This is the import of the word Ishubhi. Ishubhi Pratyosyami. Ishubhi means arrows. How can I fight with them with arrows? Those who are worshipable for me. Now, if I'm not wrong, he says Arisudana. And the comment is, you are Arisudana. Ari means Shatru, enemy. And Sudan means killer. You are killer of the enemy. You are not Guru Sudana. This was, you remember, this was the comment that you have not killed. Will you kill Sandipani Muni? That's how the acharyas explained. Will you kill Sandipani Mani? You are telling me to kill my spiritual masters. And he uses two words only, Bhishma and Drona. Because I've told you earlier, he had so much affection for Bhishma Dev. I'm repeating the same point. A pure devotee has natural affection for everybody. What to talk of those who have done good to them? They can never forget. And one important word is Arjuna. Arjuna comes from the word Raju. He was very simple. He was very simple-hearted. Devotees are naturally simple-hearted. Externally, he may be a warrior or something, but their hearts are melting with compassion because they have love of God. You understand all those things? So naturally, he was a very simple-hearted person, and he was remembering the उपकार क्या बोलते हैं? Favors, the favors or affection which was shown to them when they were in helpless situation. You know, when they were small children, Bhishma Dev took care of them. When they were brought, when Mother Kunti came with them, along with them, and Pandu Maharaj has died. So he has remembered all those things. So he was very, very respectful. We cannot imagine the respect which was given to the superiors at that time, to the spiritual masters and all that. You know that? So we cannot imagine because nobody pays. Now there's some culture, but outside, so people say, you as a tuition master, paisa dete hai, to padhata hai, bas khatam. It's not like that. And also the teachers also are like that. What they don't deserve respect because their character is not good. Anyway, so you understand why he's saying like this. Then, Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhoktum bhaksham api haloke Hatvartha kamanstu guru nihaiva Bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan. Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan. Mahanubhavan means they are exalted people. Gurun ahatva hi shreyo bhoktum bhaksham api iha loke. If I don't kill my spiritual masters, these teachers, who are very exalted, who have like Bhishma Dev, you know, he was a brahmachari. Those are the comments with acharyas. Dronacharya was an undefeated champion. He was a brahmana. Shreyo bhoktum bhaksham. Shreyo means it would be much superior for me. It is much better for me, much more beneficial for me that I will live. Bhoktum, I live by bhaksham. Bhiksha, you understand? Begging. It is better for me to beg and survive and not kill my teachers who are great exalted personalities. Are you able to follow the first line? Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyon bhoktum bhaksham api iha loke. Iha means in this look. So while I am living in this world, it is better that I don't kill my superiors. It means I will leave the battlefield. It's not that he's saying that I'll fight, but I won't kill them, but I'll kill others. Basically, you want to say better I don't kill them, and then obviously you will be defeated. So better I live by begging. So from this you must also remember that he was completely detached from material enjoyment. That has to be understood. And the comments were there. Because he was detached from material enjoyment, he was qualified to receive spiritual knowledge. And the Lord will give him spiritual knowledge. All those things are also showing that he's detached from mundane attachment. Hatvartha kamanstu gurun iheva bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan. Hatva artha kamans to gurun iha eva. Let us see what is the meaning. Hatva artha kaman.
Hatva means killing, artha means gain, kama means desire.
Okay. So he says hatvartha kamastu gurun. So he says you don't want to kill them and you want to live by begging, but they want to kill you. So he says still even if they are desiring hatva artha kamas, they are artha kama. Artha kama means desiring wealth. So they are desiring wealth. Still they are my guru. Still they are mahanubhav. They are great exalted people. So hatva, if I kill them, iha eva bhunjiya bhogan, rudhira pradigdhan. whatever gains we are going to get, they will be tainted by their blood. Tainted में धब्बा लगा होगा खून का. I give an example. Suppose somebody kills his father and he wears the shirt which was on the body of the father. So everybody can see that he's wearing the shirt of the father, but with taints of the blood of the father. Now you understand, it's a little ghastly example I'm giving, but this is what it means. So people will say, Are Guru ko maar karke raj liya. He killed his spiritual masters and got the kingdom. Don't you know this about Aurangzeb? He killed his father, I believe, or imprisoned his father and killed his brothers and like that. So he's not known as a nice person, is it not? I have nothing against him, but that you see in this world also. Sometimes we hear also, or this person very bad. He killed his father and got it, usurped the money. Have you known such people like this? Do you feel good about them? No. So he says, whatever in this world we are going to enjoy, this will be tainted by the blood of my superiors. So, are you able to understand the shloka? If I don't kill my spiritual masters, who are exalted people, it's better for me to beg and survive, to survive by begging in this world. And even if they are desiring wealth, they may be there. They are, but they are exalted people. They have done so much favor to us. If we kill them, then whatever I am going to get will be tainted by the blood of my superiors. Is it very clear? So these are the arguments of Arjuna. Okay. Na chaitadvid mahakataranna gariyo yadva jayema yadivano jayeyu याने वहत्वा न जिजीविषामस्ते वस्तितः प्रमुखे धार्त राष्ट्र न च एतद विद्मः कतरान न गरियो न च एतद विद्मः, and we also don't know. Vidmah means, do we know? I also don't know. Kataran no gariyo. Kataran means which, and na means for us, and gariya means better. I don't know, and also we don't know what is better for us. Yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu. It says yadva jayema, whether we conquer them, yadiva nah jayeyu, or they conquer us. Yane hatva najiji vishamas. So why you are saying like this? It says yan eva hatva. If we kill them, na jiji vishamas, we will not also desire to live. Is it not happening in this world also? When somebody's relatives are killed, he does not want to live.
Yes.
So if they would have enjoyed the kingdom along with the Dhritarashtra's sons, then it makes sense. But with all those people with whom we would have enjoyed the kingdom, they will all be killed in this battlefield. If they kill you, or if they win over us, not good. And if we win over them by killing them, then we will not desire to live. Then it is good. So that's why I say, na chaya etad vidmaha. Are you able to understand? Should I speak like this Sanskrit, or is it just going over the head? Throw a little bit over the head. Thoda to aa raha hai na. If I kill them, just try to understand. If we win over them, winning is not without any cost. We will kill them. So then, why should we desire to live? All our relatives are killed. When you return when you suppose a Kshatriya wins a war, and he comes back, then he shows. You see, I won a war with his relatives. But if he is fighting with his own relatives and they get killed, then to whom you will show this? What gain you have got? See, this shows very important point. In a normal sense, we become happy by relations, not by wealth. It's a very important point you have to understand. If we have friends, good friends, in our context, if we have devotee friends with whom we can practice Krishna consciousness along with, then we become happy. Not simply by getting more and more money, and by having those people who are with us only for money. You should always be very careful about this in your life. They will cheat you like anything. But you understand why he is not able to ascertain his uh, course of action? If I kill them, I will not desire to live, and if they kill me anyhow, then I will be killed. So what I'm not able to understand what I'm supposed to do, whether we should win over them or they will win over us. Te avastitah pramuke dharta rashtra. But it is amazing that they are avastitah in this battlefield. They are present, and we have. It is very strange that we have to fight with them. We do not know what is the course of our action. Just like you see, every day I try to inspire you by saying that chant Hare Krishna and go back to Godhead. So you remain inspired. Yes, you remain inspired. And if maybe you will go, maybe you will not go, who knows? Then you won't chant Hare Krishna, is it not? We have to hear this again and again that you will go, because you will go. If you chant Hare Krishna, you will go back to Godhead. I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture on this in Bhagavad Gita. Do not think these are ordinary words. It may appear English with apostrophe A and all those things. They are not ordinary words. They are words, they are Shabd Brahma. They are words spoken by Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no book in this world which has been existent till since 5,000 years. No book except Bhagavad Gita. And being read also. One thing is that a book may be there for 5,000 years, but who reads it finally? Anyhow. समझ रहे ना? We don't read those old books. Normally people don't read. But you see now how Krishna's words are ever fresh. The more you read Bhagavad Gita, it is always fresh, always fresh. These words are not normal. They are directly Krishna. And Krishna spoke himself these points that Bhagavad Gita is my Swarupa. So we are directly coming in contact with this vibration. Before that, before I go forward, I want to say, read this, which I shared yesterday. The sound is coming now? Anyhow, each and every shloka, verse should be pronounced. It's not here. It's not here. I'm just reading from my Shastric inspiration. So if you chant these mantras at least one in one day, your life will be glorious. That's why we're chanting this Parayan and all those things. I got it from this purpose. This mantra, Bhagavad mantra, not only Bhagavad, every Vedic literature is a mantra. It purifies your consciousness. So make it a point to chant one chapter of Bhagavad Gita or Brahma Samhita, or like we are chanting this nowadays, Chaitanya Charitamrita or Bhagavatam. This Prabhupada himself is saying this. So we have taken so much labor to put in diacritic mark all the word meanings, utilize it. Don't think that these books are only for sale. If you go to sell these books and some customer says, you pronounce it, then what will you do? I say, which the shloka you please chant? Then he will understand, oh, you are for selling, not for understanding. What do you think? So therefore it is necessary now, you have got nice books, each and every shloka, verse should be pronounced, spoken. Therefore we have given this original verse in Sanskrit, its transliteration with diacritic marks. Why diacritic marks? Because then you will learn how to chant it properly in a proper meter. So this, I found it yesterday, it was very inspiring for me, which assures me what I'm kind of forcing devotees to do, it is good for them, even if it doesn't they don't like it. And you will see, and you will surely see in soon, some nearby future, you will love to chant these shlokas. Some of the shlokas are so nice. That's like, that Janmadas, like that. I know you know the shloka. But it's very tasty to, you begin to relish the shlokas like that. Like today, you will find the same shloka. You can find a homework for yourself. You try to chant Adi Leela, chapter number 2, text number 2, just the way you chant Janmadhyasya. You will love it. Beautiful shloka. I was yesterday reading it. Very nice. I'm going to chant it in the evening today. Very tasty shloka. And the meaning also is very nice. But anyhow, okay. So now Arjuna is saying, he's surrendering to Lord Sri Krishna here. And he's saying, in the previous shloka he has mentioned, I am not able to ascertain what is good for me. And in the similar exact way, Sanatan Goswami had approached to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Apanara hit ahit kichu nahi jani. I do not know what is good and bad for me. You please instruct me. Okay, same way the Lord is being approached by Arjuna here. Karpanya doshopahatas svabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yat shreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaste ham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosho apahat svabhava. My svabhava, that means Arjuna is saying my svabhava as a Kshatriya is being apahat, being captured or kidnapped by karpanya dosh. Karpanya means miserliness, not being able to do what I'm supposed to do. Is it not? Karpanya dosho apahat sabhava. My sabhava, he also remembers that I had fought so many wars. I'm not able to do it. Pichame. That's why I am asking to whom? Tvam. I'm asking you. Now you say, why is not saying Bhavan? Well, you can say because he is friend of Krishna. So he will use say Tvam, naturally. तुमसे पूछ रहा हूं. You can say like that. I'm asking you. Maybe I don't remember where if he's using the word Bhavan anywhere in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe I'm not still immediately not remembering. Param Brahma Param Dhamam Paramam Bhavan. There he says Bhavan. But right now he says Tvam. Now there not well friend, but is changing over to spiritual master.
After some time he will just surrender.
Up till now he's a friend, so he says Tvam. Prachhami Tvam Dharma Sammudha Cheta. My consciousness is bewildered in terms of dharma. You understand? Dharma sammudha cheta. Sammudha means fully, like mudha means foolishness, bewildered, and sammudha means very nicely bewildered. So he says, my consciousness is completely bewildered in terms of what is my dharma. That's why I'm asking. This is a point. It is called sadharma paricha. When we approach the spiritual master, we don't ask, how can I become a doctor? Somebody asked me via WhatsApp, Prabhuji, please guide me. How can I become a doctor? I said, first of all, I am not a doctor. I don't know what questions comes here in your exam. And just to encourage her, I said, you are asking the right questions from a wrong person. I did not tell her that you are asking wrong questions from the right person. just change it over. You go to a doctor, you say, Prabhuji, suppose you go to a doctor and you tell, Doctor Saab, do you know how to fix my cycle? I mean, maybe he knows, but that's not the question you ask to a doctor, is it not? People don't know why to oppose the spiritualist. They think the spiritualist will show some light from his head or put hand on the head, and we can make a drama also. No? My Ashirwad will have something will happen like this, but that is not the point. We should approach a spiritualist. So why he's approaching the spiritual master? Prichhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. What is my dharma? What is my duty? I am not able to understand. Yat shreha syat nishchitam bruhi tanme. Yes, shreha syat. What will be beneficial for me? Nishchitam. 100% beneficial for me. It's not, we have discussed that this shreya there should not be any shreya higher than this. And if you tell me it should bring that shreya to me, that is the word meaning of the word nishchitam. Nishchit samajh rahe, certain. It's not that if I follow your advice, and maybe shreya will come to me. Shreya means good thing in the future. Maybe it will come, maybe it will not come. It's not like that. Tell me nishchit, what will bring good to me in the future? And that good should be highest. Nothing should be higher than that good by which you will advise me for. Are you able to follow what? Just like if Krishna told you follow my advice and you go to Swarga. Is there something higher than Swarga? Yes. And then if Krishna says you do this and you will go to Brahmaloka, is there something higher than Brahmaloka? Yes. So they are not highest Shreya. Shreya means going back to Godhead. And that's why the Lord will gradually guide Arjuna to go back to Godhead. Means through him, us. That is what Lord has told. Manmana bhavamad bhakto. This is the highest process of Shreya. And you remember that this is the same question which was asked by the sages of Naimisharanya from Suta Goswami. Is it not? What is the highest benefit of the human beings? What is something which will give the highest benefit? Param Shreya. Param Shreya kya hai? Same words are there. Same question is there by Arjuna only. This is the duty of a human being that he should inquire, what is my highest benefit? You know that highest benefit is love of God and going back to Godhead. But one must inquire only about it. Now, this is not easy because people do not have this conception. And because they don't have this conception, they will be surprised, what are you doing? They can appreciate if you prepare for IS. They can and work like a dog for it. Or they can appreciate that if you work for a business or CA, or I'm just not against any of these things, but anything in this world. They can't even appreciate, even now in the present age, if you're working to go to Swarga. If you say, मैं स्वर्ग लोक का देवता बनना चाहता हूँ, then also they will say you are crazy. Is it not? Rudra Prabhu, if you tell your family members, I will not doing any job, I'm trying to become the next Indra. Even that they will not accept. Is it Indra? Rascal number one, just do the job, 10,000 rupees job, or whatever, 50,000, 60,000. Is it not surprising, Amarnath Prabhu? They can't even accept if you say, I want to go to Chandraloka. Even that they won't accept. And how they can accept to go if you say I'm trying to go to Vaikuntha. If you say, if I go to Vaikuntha, I'll send some Lakshmi from there, then they'll say, yeah, why not? What is your preparation going for Vaikuntha? But that won't happen. You can't send money from Vaikuntha to here. So if you actually realize little bit, our parents, with all due respect, are in complete ignorance. We don't hate them, but we don't listen to them. If they are not devotees and you are not dependent on them economically, you don't listen to them. Two things. If they are not devotees, because devotee will tell you to chant Hare Krishna. And if you are not economically dependent, if you are economically dependent, then okay. Then you have to be pulled by the ropes. But if you are not economically dependent and you are working from home, then you should stay in Vrindavan. Is it not, Shivam? So at least some carpenter will go away by hearing Bhagavad Gita, hopefully. And Prabhuji, and you know that what a wonderful prasadam is waiting for us after 10 minutes. That you won't get in homes also.
They can join us in Vrindavan.
Anyways, if I had a mystic potency to convert Mataji into Prabhuji, so all those who wanted to join ashram, I would have to convert them into Prabhujis. I said, okay, join the ashram. But it is not possible. It is not possible. And all the Prabhujis who want to join, don't join, I will say, okay, become Matajis and go and marry. Something like that, you know. You want to be entangled, go and marry there. But this is very much seen, that the attachment and illusion which comes after marriage cannot be given up. This is my son, this is nobody's son, anyone's son, nobody's anyone's father, nothing. If you can see the drama around here, I saw some rats this is how our vision changes. I saw a few rats were there in Goshala, naturally rats will be there. And just looking at their eyes, I was seeing how a living entity is there in this rat body. It's amazing how your perception changes. Normally say, why this rat is there? But I was just seeing how helpless he is looking at me. He just can't do anything now. He has to wait through this evolution period. It was very shocking. And then you feel so not compassion also. I was feeling so blessed. I will not become a rat at least. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Hopefully, Krishna, please don't make me rat. Understand? You don't think about Shreya. What I'm just talking about, I should have not given so much purport, but I'm just saying Shreya. One should look at the Shreya just like Vaikuntha. I must go to Vaikuntha. I should not miss my chance. I must go to Vaikuntha in this life. I must close this case. You know, in the court, there are so many cases going on for years together. Stop this case of birth, death, old age. Stop this case now. Close the case. We should be determined like that. And don't waste our time with exalted material life. It's all useless. Don't become happy by these things. Shishyas, so Bruhitanme. So you Bruhitanme means you please tell me. Now, who is Krishna? Who is Krishna? Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's giving darshan to Arjuna. But still Arjuna is lamenting. Can you imagine? So what he's saying? Bruhi. Bruhi means please speak. So Krishna's mercy is manifested to us when he speaks. And you remember, same way, sadhus they speak uktibhi. By that they manovyas uktibhi. All the glani, all the kachara, all the bad things of the heart are cleaned by the ukti, by the words of the teacher, by the words of a spiritualist, by the words of Krishna. So if you are not hearing, the all very less chance for purification. Do you feel yourself purified after hearing Bhagavad Gita? At least something will come. I must practice Krishna consciousness strongly. I am an illusion working for stupid things in this material world. At least for some time it will come. Words are very powerful, and these words are not different from Krishna. But you are my friend. How can I talk about these exalted matters with you? He says, Shishyasteham Shadhi Mam Tvam Prapannam. I am your disciple. Shishyaste Aham. Shadhi. Shadhi means you struck. You tell me what I should do. Don't do like this. Do like this. Mam. Shadhi Mam. Shadhi, you understand? Discipline me. Disciple means discipline. If say Guru Maharaj, you have taken initiation. Guru Maharaj asked, are you coming from Mangalarti? No. Are you chanting announs? No. Then what? Why you took initiation? Why you take initiation? Or somebody says, I have not met such people, but some devotees told me, they say, we were not knowing about the 4 regulative principles. Otherwise, we would have not taken initiation. What? This is really funny. One Mataji, real life story. She was a Bengali and she was from Bangladesh. She wanted to take initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So she thought, anyhow, I'll not be eating fish now the whole of my life. So just before initiation, the day of initiation, she ate fish and took a flight to take initiation from Jayapataka. What kind of covered people are there? And it's amazing. Maharaj has such a potency. There was a whole stack of papers. He pulled out one paper from in between. And he says, she is not qualified for initiation. Don't think the spiritual master like people like His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, they don't know. They are directly in communion with God. Quite amazing, no? She wanted to cheat the spiritual master. And she was foolish also. It's not that just before the day of initiation you will break all the regulative principles and after that you come and take the initiation. The person should be interested in his highest Shreya, just like Arjuna here. Then only he has some business with the spiritual master. Spiritual master has no business with people who are not interested in Shreya, who are not interested in going back home, back to Godhead. That's the standard. Whatever else is being followed, but the standard is like this. That's why there is so much limitation in ISKCON for initiation now. Not we give initiation left and right, where person does not know why he took initiation for. You must have a desire to go back to Godhead. Then you won't say this, Prabhuji, 16 mala hota nahi hai. I'm not able to do my 16 rounds. So I personally feel a person should come to this level where he says 16 rounds is not a problem and then take initiation. So at least you won't say that I cannot chant my 16 rounds. And I'm very happy that many students here are in that kind of mood. Very easy for them to chant 16 rounds. 60? Is in pocket, Prabhuji. Like this, your key, very easy. Yes, and it is the duty of the teachers who are going to be teachers after me. That is your duty, that you make sure that you train your students to chant 16 rounds nicely before you even think of initiation. I took initiation after seven years, but nobody ever, I'm not glorifying myself, but you get convinced, you get faith by that purification that no, now I should take initiation. Does it make sense? Rather, every day I am fearful, how will I chant my 16 rounds? Little bit health issue is there, other thing is there. I plan, what is my health situation today? Whether I am able to chant my 16 rounds or not. I am saying all these things because we see how people drop from this exalted facility of chanting 16 rounds. I just got too much into the purport. I mean, let's see if there are anything else Arjuna speaks. How many shlokas are there? Okay, one more shloka and then we'll stop. Then we'll see what Sanjay said. Nahi prapashyami mama punudyad yachokam indriyanam avapya bhumau vasapatnam riddham rajam suranam api chadhipatyam. Nahi prapashyami. Pashyami means seeing. Prapashyami means I am not able to. Prapashyami means to see very clearly. Nahi prapashyami. I am certainly not able to see. Mama apanudyat, which can drive away my. Mama apa anudyat, something which will drive away. What? Yachokam uchoshanam indriyanam. I am absolutely not able to see something which can drive away my lamentation, which is what is the word? Uchoshanam. Drying up my senses. You remember in the yesterday's discussion, it was there, his mouth was drying up. So, senses are there, but he's not able to engage. He does not feel that he has a strength to use his senses because of lamentation. Has any one of you ever felt like this ever in your life? Overwhelming lamentation? When did you feel like that? I tell you first, I should tell about myself. Like when I could not get into IIT, the first attempt, I was feeling like that, at least for some time. Overwhelming lamentation. I was crying and all that. What was your lamentation? You don't, what? Fighting with friends. Okay. You had some lamentation? Yeah. Yeah. So you failed sometimes in the exam. You also had that? When you had? When you're leaving Vrindavan. So that is not difficult. Why should you leave? Stay here. There was a time. So you should not leave. You should just live here. Then your senses will remain nice and supplicated. Okay. You also had these experiences sometimes. बहुत शोक हो रहा था, कुछ कर ही नहीं पा रहे थे. All of us go through this. So I'm just saying, I'm asking you this because you can relate with what Arjuna is speaking. Many times people have crushes, when they are in love, quote unquote love with a girl, and the girl, that she leaves. So then their senses also are drying up, like that. Okay. Avapya bhumau. Even if I get the whole earth, avapya bhumau. Avapya means achieving bhumau. On this earth, asapatna riddham. Riddham is prosperous, unrivaled kingdom. Sapatni, you understand? Sapatni means co-wives. So just like co-wives share one husband. So asapatna means no co-wife. Means no competition in ruling this bhumi or earth. That is the meaning of the word asapatnam. Asapatnam. Sapatni, you understand? Sapatni means co-wives. So the co-wives are competing to enjoy the husband. So when there is no sapatni, that will be called asapatnam. So even if I get the whole earth without any competition, without any rivalry, and riddham means very prosperous also. It's not that the whole earth is destroyed and say, okay, you take it now. Sometimes in this, we have experienced also, somebody sponsored a lot of ruafza. I say, very nice. Then you see the date is expired. So not like that. Or tomato sauce, the date is expired. Or the rice which is rotten, you give to Krishna. No, not like that. Prosperous. Radham Rajyam Suranam api chadhipatyam. Or even dominion over Suranam means demigods. Will not be. Adhipatyam, you understand? Suranam nahi samajhte, asur nahi samajhte. So even if I get very unchallenged sovereignty over this planet, or even if I get sovereignty over the demigods, I won't be sovereignty like the demigods in heaven, I won't be happy. So then after saying this, what Sanjay said, we'll hear tomorrow. If there are any questions, we'll see. Shiv Vilas Prabhu has written Ramayana and Mahabharata book. I have not read that, but I have not read that one. I think he has given his version of it. I think so. But Mahabharata in condensed form has been given by some Dharma Prabhu, Krishna Dharma Prabhu. That's very nice. He just narrates the stories. That's nice. I don't know what is. I've not read the book by Prabhuji, Shiv Vilas Prabhu. Maybe he's. I don't know. Maybe he used it for some purpose, in a sense, to give some shiksha, something like that. But if you want to read the stories, that is a very nice book. You know, you may have a difficulty. I feel sleepy when I read books. Read that book, your sleep will go away. This happened, this fighting, and I really like the fighting part. You know, the fighting happens.
These stories, then
Yeah, very nice.
Yes, what was it?
Then I was thinking, this shows I'm a Shudra only because Bhagavad is meant for Shudras and women. So I said, yeah, when I read this, I don't feel sleepy. Chatatam is really nice. Okay, so we shall stop here. There was no questions yet that, but we remember one thing is what we learned is that we must ask for highest benefit from the spiritual master. Okay, thank you all very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.